I wish you didn't have to look at that. All of that. There we go. That's better. Is it? I don't know. Okay, oh well. I have an itch, but I know that if I scratch it, I'm gonna wipe off my eyebrow. What's happening? Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. So, I have a couple of like customized punky jackets, and I've talked about them before, so I wanted to do a little jacket tour for you guys today. Yeah, just kind of show off my customizations on my jackets. And yeah, they're definitely very much a work in progress, and they're not something that I'm like trying to finish, but you know, I add to them whenever I get an idea or feel inspired for something to add on. So yeah, I think in a year or so's time these jackets will look very different. But yeah, let me show you the progress that I've made on them. I would say I've had both of these jackets for about a year, more or less. And so this is about a year's worth of like collecting stuff. So this is my one long sleeve jacket. And this is my cutoff vest jacket thingy. And yeah, I will take you through all the bits bit by bit. So I guess we'll start with the long sleeve, baby. And I guess we can start with the pins. There's a little Tina Belcher pin and a I Want to Believe with a little alien spaceship on it. I got both of those online. They were just really cheap pins that I found online, so I bought them. Nothing crazy special about them. The Trick or Treat pin, I just got it like a little like cheap accessories store, you know. I also forgot about this little ice cream. I got these two in the same place. I'm a Strong Woman. That pin, they were giving them away for free with like purchases at a spa, like a grocery store, and I got one. It was in high school that I got that pin, and I found it like in a box of stuff of mine, and I was like, yeah, I'm a strong woman aware. I also have had this One Direction pin since I was a kid. I went through a very heavy One Direction phase in like grade 9, grade 10, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, whatever. And yeah, I mean, I know that it's like, it seems super cringe to have a One Direction pin on your jacket, but like, it just reminds me of that time in my life, you know. And I think that it's brave in the world that we live in to, you know, confess to everyone that, well, yes, I am a young woman. I was at one time a younger woman who had interests that young women are interested in, and yeah, so I like having, to me it's rebellious to have this One Direction pin on my punk jacket. I also have this, so it's like a little punk hand holding a lighter, and it says 5FM on it, so I'm assuming it was like 5FM is a radio station in South Africa. It was probably honestly like they were giving them out for free or something for some kind of event or whatever, but I just like it. And I got that from the secondhand store, vintage store that I used to work at. And then I have this little penguin, and I got that at the Sandcob like bird sanctuary place. Yes, I bought the pin, and I got this little squishy penguin that I keep in my car, and the proceeds for that go to helping the animals. And then I have this little Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse pin that a friend got for me in China. And then I have this shiny purple button because I like it and it's pretty. And I think I actually also got that from the vintage store that I worked at. My boss was a bit of a cow, to be honest, and I saw this button lying around and I was like, I'm going to steal her button, because where to next? I guess we just move along down. So I have just a little, it's just a rose like iron-on patch that I got from also a cheap accessory store. I have another one. I probably will put another one on there. I have some safety pins on here just because you always need them. And then I have this little patch. It says, "Stay back." And it's this like adorable little like bird creature, like a little baby chick holding a little knife. And I hand stitched this patch, which is why it's, I think the bird looks alright, but obviously the text is not so great. But yeah, I just made this patch with a piece of scrap fabric I had, and it's the little bird from like Lil Peep's album art and stuff has this little bird on it. I don't know where it came from originally, but that's what I took it from. So yeah, that's that whole one side. I also have these little leaves that I stitched on. It's on both colors, there and there. And that was just like, it was lockdown and I wanted to learn embroidery, and I was like, what better place to practice than on my punk jacket, where like, I don't know, I quite like that embroidery makes a really cool difference to the piece, but is still pretty reversible, you know? Like, I would rather embroider on an item than paint on it. And that's why I like patches like this, because I could just take it off, you know? It's really funny, like you can see that I don't know what I'm doing. Like, that's the back and that's the front. Like, it looks so pretty in the front and it's just like yeah, cool. Onto, oh wait, also on the lapel I stitched this little pride flag. That is an asexual pride flag that I stitched on there. That took forever. Oh my goodness, it took forever, because like this like edgy part here is like really thick, so to get a needle through there like over and over again enough times to make a whole row of color is so painful. It took so long. I literally remember I watched the whole of the movie Life of Pi while stitching just the purple stripe. One whole movie for just the purple stripe on the lapel there. So there's that from my embroidery phase. And I also did this little anarchy symbol on the right shoulder, which again, like, it looks really nice and clean from the front, but when you look on the inside, like, ooh, bitch. Yeah, and then the only other thing that I have on the front here is this little spooky cat patch. I just like him. He's spooky and weird, little sphinx cat. Whew, my arms are getting tired from holding this up. And then this is the back. Meow. So this patch on top here is it's like a rocket blasting off into space. And I actually got this when I went to a talk by a NASA astronaut in my town. He at some point was like, have a look under your seats, and if you have like the blue dot, then you can come get a prize, and there's like first, second, and third prize. And like, I looked under my seat and I was like, no way. And it did have a sticker, and I felt really bad because I was literally in a room full of children, and here I am, like 22 years old at the time, and I was like, well, I want the space merch, so but yeah, I feel really great about the fact that this is quite a rare patch, and I got it from a real astronaut who was in space. Hell yeah. And then the back patch is from one of my best friend's punk band. They are called Undead Generation, and this was just a back patch that he kind of screwed up the printing, so he was like, yeah, you want a back patch? So here's that. And then the last thing on this jacket is this cute little mushroom I embroidered on it. It's made from the same fabric as the little duck to make the hat. I was making that other patch and I was like, wait a second. This kind of looked like a mushroom though. I am well aware that if the grass is only that big, then this must be a huge mushroom. But that's okay. Cool, yeah. So that's this whole jacket. For the cutoff jacket. So the first thing about this jacket is that it used to have sleeves and it was really big for me. I'd had it for a long time. It was a gift from someone. When I got this jacket, I was like, okay, well now I have one with sleeves that fits me a little better, so I might as well just cut off the sleeves on the other one. So I chopped the sleeves off with a pair of craft scissors and I distressed the edges with a steak knife. So yeah, and I also, it was much too big for me, and you can see I basically sewed the sides shut a little. Can you see that? So like this piece of fabric here. So I just basically sewed it a little bit smaller on the sides, and I wasn't expecting it to work. So like you can see the stitches are like way far apart because I honestly wasn't expecting it to work as well as it did. Then it's got these two little puppy dogs on it on either side. I love those. I just found those patches at like a craft store and I thought they were so cute. They just sit on my shoulders, you know. I got a little rainbow patch on a little pin on this one. This patch is a little lewd, so I won't show it. It's basically an ACAB patch. And then I have another ACAB patch. This one I also sewed myself. So you can see it is a little, so this is what police vans look like in South Africa. And yeah. And I sewed it on with some red thread. And then, okay, so the thing about this jacket is that I needed a punk jacket to wear to a party. Like the theme of the party was like old school hippies versus old school punks. So I wanted to go like really punky, and I wanted like some kind of like battle jacket, crush jacket sort of thing. So I basically rushed and made a bunch of like patches, just quickly painted some fabric, and some of them I've taken off, but some of them I kept on. Like this one, it's just a little rocket ship. I don't think it's the worst patch in the world. And I also made this one that same time. It says, "Boys are stinky," and I actually just love this patch. Like it's so ugly, and like look at this little man, like what's he up to? But I do really like that patch. It's honestly one of my favorites. And this is one of those little like flipping you off cats. I don't know what you call him. Is he Norbert or whatever? That cat, you know the one, you know the guy. This guy, you know him. And I bought that pin when I was in Russia. I have a little cactus plant on there, why not? So I glued some studs to it on here. They are just like plastic studs that I glued on, but they're holding up really well. Cool, and then the back looks like this. The back patch is this big red tartan piece of fabric that I found and painted a little light bulb on it, and it says Optimist. I do have a tattoo of a light bulb. And yeah, it's a symbol of optimism. I definitely think that I was more of an optimist when I painted this, and like the idea of optimism was really important to me. I just felt like if people accepted that change was impossible, then change is impossible, was the way that I always thought about it. I don't feel as connected to the idea anymore, but I still like the back patch, and yeah, I think it's cool. And then the last thing on here is this little mushroom thing. And it's made of plastic. It's the like outer wrapping of a clipper lighter. And like, yeah, somebody that I used to bartend with just gave me this broken lighter one time, and she was like, "Yo, the lighter doesn't work, but it's got this cool thing on it. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can find a use for that." And yeah, then I finally realized that it has these holes all along the edges, and I was like, "Oh, this could be a patch." But what I'd really like to do is get more of these clipper lighter patches and sew them like all the way along the top edge here. And they'd have to be like alternating upside down right side because they have these like angled edges, you know? But yeah, that's a plan for the future. I love lighters. I don't really know why, but I love having lighters. I think they're useful for a lot of things. I like lighters. I like clippers because there are so many different patterns and stuff. I also got a new jacket recently at the thrift store. It's an all new vest to customize, and it is Guess brand. It has this cool eagle on the back. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Chloe. I also go by Miscellany. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ misslyn_y. You can find the link down below. I'm also on Instagram as @misscore on Instagram. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're like me and want to see more from my channel, you can click the subscribe button down below, and I make new videos mostly once a week. Also, I have a Discord server. You're welcome to join my Discord server and post pictures of your punk jackets. I would love to see them. Cool, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you. Bye.